Okay, so I'm going to read the Maftir Aliyah for Parshat Teitzei and Parshat Zachor. I'm going to do the reading twice, and that's because there's a phrase towards the end of the Aliyah that is handled different ways in different communities, so I want you to be able to hear it a couple of different ways. And that phrase is timcheh zecher Amalek, which means wipe out the memory of Amalek. The word zecher is usually written with the tzerei, so it's the two-dot vowel. It's pronounced a, so zecher. Historically, it was sometimes written with the sagol, which is a three-dot vowel and would be pronounced zecher. It seems like the consensus is that historical spelling with the sagol was basically just a typo, and zecher with two dots is the correct way of spelling it. But just to be certain that the Torah is heard properly, it is customary in different communities to pronounce it both ways, just in case. So as a brief overview of some of the controversy over the reasons for that and how it should be done, I'll point out a few different reasonings. So the Mishnah Berurah says that the whole phrase timcheh zecher Amalek should be repeated for Parshat Zachor, but not for Parshat Teitzei, because it's important for fulfilling the mitzvah of remembering Amalek during Parshat Zachor. Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, who was an Orthodox posek and one of the most famous legal authorities in the 20th century, has a different view, which is that that phrase should be repeated for any Torah reading, because there's no basis for requiring perfect pronunciation for the fulfilling the mitzvah of remembering Amalek. The important thing is to pronounce it perfectly because it's a Torah reading, and so it should always be repeated. Chabad custom, sort of similar. It says that it should be done the same way for both readings. So whichever way you do it during Parshat Zachor, you should also do it for Parshat Teitzei. Katzot HaShulchan has a somewhat different take, which is that for Parshat Teitzei, you're hearing these three verses both during the Shvi'i Aliyah and also during the Maftir Aliyah, and so the best way to handle it is to pronounce it with one vowel during Shvi'i and the other vowel during the Maftir. So, for example, zecher during Shvi'i and zecher during the Maftir, so that people hear it both ways without needing to have it repeated in any one reading. But for Parshat Zachor, since it won't be repeated, it's only done in the Maftir, you need to repeat the phrase because there won't be a second chance to hear it. So I'll put some links in the description if you want to dig into that issue deeper. But for this video, the first time I read this through, I will repeat the phrase timcheh zecher Amalek. And the second time I read it, I won't repeat it. I will just pronounce it zecher. All right. Zachor asher asa lecha Amalek b'derech b'tzeitechem mimitzrayim asher karecha b'derech v'yizanev becha kohaneh shalim aharecha Ve'atayef ve'ageya ve'lo yareh Elohim ve'haya ve'haniya Adonai Elohecha lecha mikol oyevecha misaviv Ba'aretz asher Adonai Elohecha notein lecha nachala l'rishta timcheh zecher Amalek timcheh zecher Amalek mitachat hashamayim lo tishkach. Zachor asher asa lecha Amalek b'derech b'tzeitechem mimitzrayim asher karecha b'derech v'yizanev becha kohaneh shalim aharecha v'yatayev v'yageya v'lo yarei Elohim v'haya v'haniya Adonai Elohecha lecha mikol yavecha misaviv ba'aretz asher Adonai Elohecha notein lecha nachala l'rishta timcheh zecher Amalek mitachat hashamayim lo